Welcome back to the program. So first and foremost, programming note, tomorrow night, Sunday, Rage of Aquarius is a go. So we will be doing the show. Possibly Monday too, to make up for last week. We'll see, depending on what Dan's schedule looks like. I'm good to go if he wants to do it. But wanted to talk about something different. We're going to do just one segment, and we're going to do it pretty quick too. So it always goes to show that those that are fiscally conservative typically do better in life, number one. Number two, they're good at saving their money. And number three, when they need that money the quickest and the fastest and the most, they have access to it when it counts. And that's what's important here. So a lot of people are freaking out over these midterms. And I hate to say it, but in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, it really does come down to this. Who's got the money and who's got the ability to get that message out to the masses? Typically, the ones that have the money win. Not always, thankfully, as we saw with Heels Up Headboard Harris. Now, the people that gave her $1 billion to somehow try to win in 2024, guess what? They're not stepping up to the plate anymore, okay? And when you lose that kind of money, you don't reinvest that kind of money in the same losing horse, or in this case, the Democrats. So the Democrats right now are at a historic deficit when it comes to money to spend on the midterms. Now, a lot of people are seeing ads for Democrats all around the country. And they're seeing these glowing ads of these socialists. And here in Arizona, we're seeing ad after ad after ad about Katie Hobbs and how she's an independent and all this other garbage, which of course she's not. But if you remember, I sent a text message live on Full Throttle Thursday to Wendy Rogers, Senator Wendy Rogers, who I know pretty well. And I asked point blank, I said, what's going on with Andy Biggs' campaign? No ads, nothing. Is he waiting for something to go after her? I mean, there's a ton to attack her with. What are your thoughts? And she replied later that night after we got off the air, it's called keeping one's powder dry until he starts spending his money when it'll have the maximum effect. Then she said that she's overseas traveling right now. She's in Estonia for Jordan Conradson's wedding in Spain. Congratulations to you, Jordan Conradson from the Gateway Pundit. And so that is what she said about Andy Biggs and the, quote, lack of spending. So what I'm going to do right now is I decided to do something different for this show. I wanted to break down where the money situation lies right now. Who's got the money? Who doesn't? From the looks of it and from the ads on television, seems like the Democrats have the advantage. Wrong. It's not even close. Listen to these numbers. The RNC, the Republican National Committee, has $130 million cash on hand. The DNC, the Democrat National Committee, has $16 million in cash. House Republicans have $92 million cash on hand. House Democrats are doing decent. They have $80 million cash on hand. Senate Republicans, who we have been chastising and pissed off at because they've been stopping the Save America Act and all that, even they have more money than the Democrat Senate campaign. The Senate Republicans have $56 million, and the Senate Democrats have $39 million. But here's where things get really, really different, okay? President Trump, his campaign war chest, the administration, MAGA Inc., which, by the way, Caroline Leavitt is still going to be very front and center in this administration, even though she's not going to be the press secretary. She's going back to her old job, which was spokesperson of MAGA Inc., one of President Trump's biggest political action committees. And they have a total of $850 million cash on hand. You heard that correctly, $850 million. Now, they are not going to spend the full $850 million, and quite frankly, they shouldn't. Why not save some for 2028? So, from my sources, I'm hearing they're going to spend probably close to 70% of that money. Well, 70% of that money is $595 million in cash from all the Trump-aligned political action committee PACs and groups, okay? The Democrats, on the other hand, all of their aligned PACs, we're talking Priorities USA, House Majority PAC, Senate Majority PAC, labor unions spending, abortion rights groups, all of that, the total amount should be about $400 million, okay? Now, let's talk about some individuals. Elon Musk has already said that he's planning on spending around $200 million, possibly as much as $300 million, but we'll go with the $200 million number for now. Versus George Soros and the Open Society Institute and Alex and all of those groups there, they're planning on spending about $103 million. Now, if you take the RNC and you take the House GOP and the Senate GOP, that's $278 million versus the DNC, the House Democrats, and the Senate Democrats at $135 million. Then take that, take the Trump-aligned MAGA Inc. and all of the Trump PACs that are going to be spending money, and you get to $873 million. Then add the 200 minimum that Elon Musk is planning on spending, and guess what, folks? That's right, $1 billion, you heard that, $1,073 million for the GOP. And on the other side, take the DNC, the House Dems, the Senate Democrats, that's $135 million, plus the Democrat-aligned groups, PACs, labor unions, abortion rights groups, all these crazy little whatever groups. You're looking at about $535 million. Add Soros's $103 million, and you're looking at $638 million. Still a lot of money. But Republicans should have a cash advantage if, and again, if all these numbers work out, and this is what ends up being spent, well, then Republicans are going to have a $435 million cash on hand advantage against the Democrats. Now, this also doesn't even include Win Red as well. They've been raising money as well, so they'll be continuing to raise money. I'm sure there's going to be other groups out there that are also going to be doing it, and I'm not saying that this is definitely going to happen, but there's also the fact that Nicki Minaj may spend between 15 and 20 million as well to try to help Republicans. And then, you have Turning Point USA, Turning Point Action, Turning Point Faith. You've got that, Early Vote Action. So there's a lot of groups. There's a lot of get out the vote opportunities there. There's a lot of that type of activist groups out there. And again, it's on both sides, but there's a lot more on our side as well. And remember, Act Blue is taking a seat for the most part because they're under federal investigation. So they're not raising money, and they're likely not going to be doing anything political. The SPLC, again, another group, not going to be active, the Southern Poverty Law Center, because they're under federal investigation. And as far as I can tell, Neville Singham is probably not going to be spending a ton of money either, because we're trying to figure out a way to extradite him from China so that we can arrest and indict him as well. So the reason I'm bringing all this up to you is because you're seeing fake suppression polls that are showing Republicans going to be blown out and this and that, and I'm not buying it. I'm not making predictions either. but I'm not buying it. The other thing I'll say is these Republicans are going to be doing something for the first time. It's never been done before, called a midterm convention. That'll be taking place, I believe, in Texas in September sometime. So that could galvanize things as well. He could do the national security for emergencies on elections, maybe in the first or second week of September. That could galvanize the votes of the MAGA base as well. You know, the SAVE Act's not going to happen, but if he does that, that's even better than the SAVE Act. The Iran war, I don't know. Hard to say what's going to happen with that. We'll see. But again, I'm not throwing in the towel, and I'm certainly not going to sit here with doom and gloom all over my face, because again, they want you discouraged. They want you in despair. They want you depressed. They want you dejected, because if you stay home, they win. Okay? It's really just that simple. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's the truth, and that's what we're sticking with. So, again, these are the numbers. We have a huge cash advantage. So if you want to donate more money to Trump PACs and things like that, be my guest. Go ahead and do it, okay? And tell other people about this as well. So, again, we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to push for the things that we want for this country. We're going to continue to fight against the DSA, these communists. We're going to continue to expose them all. But I want you to take a deep breath, relax. We've got plenty of money, and I'm not saying that money solves everything, but if we spend $1 billion, we're going to spend that $1 billion precise and correctly and targeted. We're not going to just throw it all over the place like the Democrats do. And who's the one with the cash on hand? The fiscal conservatives, the Republicans. We know how to take money and spend it at the right time. We're not even in September yet, folks. So please chill, relax, but continue to fight. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Put them down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one.